it is more and more organized crime than it was in previous years, right? So I always think like the mobsters and the mafia, right? They would, go knocking on doors and asking for, scratch money. So it's very similar to that now. It is organized crime, but it's distributed crime, right? It's not necessarily, 50 people sitting in one office working for one company, right? There are different groups. There are different maybe factions. There are, they could be anywhere in the world, right? This, our evil has been, pointed that they're Russian based. Certainly you've heard a little bit of the politics of, hey, we need to crack down on this stuff, but who's incentivized in this case, right? If this is revenue generating activity for a country, unfortunately, right, are they not necessarily incentivized to shut it down or committed to shutting it down, right? Because it brings money, unfortunately, into their country. So I think it's a very challenging problem to have, and it, in a lot of ways, the globalization of our world has shown, especially in the last year, how it creates a lot of different challenges in a lot of different ways. So I'm not sure what the solution is, right? Unless we, go outside of our bounds and jump into jurisdictions that we don't belong in. And is that really possible? I don't know. Maybe from a tech perspective, right? Maybe there's ways from a technology perspective to, start segregating the internet or blocking things. But the problem has been that these guys have hacked into US based systems. So it's not, you can't just cut off the internet, that country, or whatever.
Well, how are these guys getting money, first of all?
Totally. I mean, there was JBS or Colonial was $11 million paid out, if I recall. Now, in an interesting way, the federal government somehow was able to go and pull back $4 million of that or something.
Yeah, I remember.
But yeah, I mean, there's been probably hundreds of millions of dollars siphoned from American businesses, American organizations, cyber insurance carriers, whatever it is, and funneled into, these cybercrime terrorist groups.
That's what I don't get. It's like, where does the money go? How do you not track that?
Well, it's all cryptocurrency. So the beautiful thing about cryptocurrency, the double-edged sword, is that all of that money is then untraceable. It's hanging out in the internet, in blockchain where, no one really has access to it, or frankly, everyone has access to it in a way, and they can, siphon it away and do whatever they want with it. It was JBS that paid $11 million. My assumption is that they were not able to recover at all or quick enough from their own means. Right. And so instead they go, okay, fine, $11 million. We make so much revenue and so much profit. We can afford an $11 million whoops and get our shit back online, get our equipment back online so that we can continue to operate. Without that, they may have been down forever or some, long time frame where they would not be able to operate. And you saw it with the pipeline, right? We're shutting down gas stations. We're shutting down the pipeline. We're not pumping anymore, whatever it looked like. Mm-hmm. JBS, okay, we're not able to, process meat anymore. Thereby, the goods won't make it to market and people will not starve, but you get what I'm saying. And so
they're attacking our infrastructure.
100%. There's some moving pieces there, yes, right? But if you're not properly backed up and your backups are not, segregated off where in a ransomware incident, it won't get hit as well. And again, there's a lot of moving pieces here, but you've got to have a proper plan B. Now, even with good backups, it does take time to restore. It does take time to put Humpty Dumpty back together, so to speak. But at least we're not funding, the bad guys.
It's the endless cycle.
Yeah.
That you're feeding the beast.
Yeah. There has been discussion, right, of making it illegal to pay the ransoms, right? Because yes, we're funding more and more of this, call it digital terrorism. In a lot of ways, it puts everybody between a rock and a hard place. Yes, I believe we should be spending and funding proper protections and doing the best we can with the tools we have. Is it going to be perfect? No. None of this stuff is perfect. But at least we're being proactive and we're doing the things that we know we need to do to try and protect this stuff from happening. And so I would rather see maybe fines issued or money spent right towards improving the infrastructure and improving our cyber stance, not money being siphoned out of our economy to fuel more cybercrime.